Hello, I am Christy, your home styling coach, and welcome to our very first styling studio live. If you're joining live, you may be watching the recorded version, but I am so excited that you are here. I'm so excited to kick this off, and I feel sure that I'm going to share with you today something that you have never considered before when doing a home makeover project of any scale. There is one very first step that you need to consider before you get started. And most people skip straight past this step and go into the shopping phase, right? Because that's the stage that most people want to tackle first, because you're sitting in your home and you're looking at your room and you're thinking, I want to do something different. I want a new rug, or I want new curtains. And we just get in our car and we go and we purchase some things, and we come back and we place those things in our home, and then we are disappointed because it doesn't really make the impact that we thought it would make. Sometimes we end up spending quite a bit of money, quite a bit of time, and we're just not happy. It didn't really do anything except give us some buyer's remorse, which is definitely something that we want to prevent. I never recommend buyer's remorse. It is just a real downer when you are trying to make your home feel like home, which is the goal here. So home makeover prep is essential. It's an essential step that you do before you start any project. No matter how many projects you tackle this year in your home, you need to start with the prep work first. And, again, this is why most people give up before they even make any progress, because they get frustrated because they don't know where to start, because they start in the shopping phase. And the shopping phase is not the first step, and it's not even the second step. It's on down the line when you do the shopping. So I hope you're ready for this. I sure am. And we are going to jump in this, and we're going to do this together. And I'm going to be right here beside you each step of the way, coaching and cheering you on. So here is the 4 steps to my home makeover prep. And I would go ahead and get a pen and paper, because there's no way that you're going to remember these questions that you need to be thinking through. This particular step of the process is not the funnest. I'll just be honest with you, but it is really one of the most necessary steps, because it's a lot of think work. And a lot of times we don't want to do think work when we want to make our house pretty, but it really is required. So there's a lot of think work, and then there's some hands-on work at the end that we're going to do to get you started into getting some action. All right, step number 1, there's 4 steps. Step number 1 is determine your perimeter. A lot of times we don't decide what room that we want to work on, because we kind of just work on the whole house at one time, right? We're just like, oh, I want to buy this for this space. I want to buy that. I need some new curtains in there. I need a new rug in there. I need a new centerpiece here. And we just go from room to room to room, just purchasing things. And then we end up with a house full. Of items that maybe we didn't even need, or maybe that don't even look great. And that's what happens with so many of my clients that I have seen. They're like, got all this stuff, and it was pretty on the shelf, but it's not so pretty in my house. And I spent a lot of money on it. So determine your perimeter. Is your perimeter going to be an entire room? Are you going to tackle an entire room for your first project? It's totally fine if you want to do that. I'm going to coach you through it. Do you want to do your living room? Do you want to do your bedroom? Do you maybe just want to do your bathroom? And I'm not talking about a remodel. I'm talking about, maybe you just want to add some accessories. Maybe you want to add some new colors, some new rugs, shower curtains, things like that. Or maybe you just want to do a part of a room. Maybe your office is in one of your other rooms in your home. Maybe you just want to tackle that perimeter. Maybe you want to tackle your entryway. My entryway in my home, you can see it a little bit behind me here, is just kind of a wall, and the rest of the room is the living room. And I did not tackle the entryway and the living room together. That was 2 different projects. Maybe you want to start really small scale, and maybe you've got built-ins, maybe you've got bookshelves, and you just want to tackle that first. That's okay too. The main thing is to determine your perimeter for this first project that you're going to tackle, and stick to it. See it through to the end. All right. How much, number 2, Prepare yourself. Most people don't prepare themselves for projects, right? When they're getting ready to start, you're like, how do I prepare myself for a project? It's a think work that I was talking about. Prepare yourself. Okay, one way you can prepare yourself is one, to commit to the determined perimeter. Okay, that was in step one. So you can do that. The next thing is, how much time are you going to commit? I know that you have joined this hub because you are committed. You're obviously committed to devoting a certain, at least a little bit of amount of time to the hub, because hopefully you are going to watch all of the coaching videos, which are going to be about 30 minutes long each month. You're hopefully going to join the Q&A, which is going to take a little bit of time. But how much time are you going to commit hands-on to taking action to the things that I am coaching you on? Because when someone coaches you, after they coach you, then you have to take action. Otherwise, what's the point of being coached, right? I have a business coach, and she coaches me. Like we have a, I have a session, I jump in and I get the coaching. But then if I don't do anything with it, it's just wasted time and money. So I want to make sure that you're committed to that part of the process, but also how much you're going to spend outside of the coaching, applying the coaching that you've learned. Maybe it's an hour a week. Maybe it's 2 hours a week. And it could be more, depending on the topic that we're covering. Like this month, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. There's a lot of think work. There's some conversations you're going to need to have with some other people. So are you committed to getting that done on a Saturday? Whatever you need to get done, are you committed to getting it done on the weekend because you don't really have time during the week? Think about that as we move forward. And think about any time you start a project, any project, what's your timeline that you're going to give yourself? If I am starting like a furniture flipping project, which I am actually going to be doing very soon on a piece in my dining room, I try to set a timeline. Okay, I'm going to commit to having this done in 3 weeks because I can only work on these projects on Saturday in my home. So I'm going to commit to the next 3 Saturdays. Maybe it'll just take me 2, maybe it'll take me more, but I'm committing that time to that project. So commit time to yourself. It's going to be worth it. You're not going to believe how much a transformation in one room can change the way that you feel in your home, the way that you interact in your home, the way that you interact with bringing others into your home, and just your life overall. Totally life-changing. I can really just not give that enough weight with my words. Okay, so what's your timeline? What are you going to do if you get stuck or frustrated? Super important. Most people don't think about this when you're starting a project. So what are you going to do if you get stuck? Well, here's some recommendations. If you get stuck, post in the Facebook group. If you need some encouragement, post in the Facebook group. If you're feeling crappy about what you're doing and you're feeling unmotivated and you're feeling like you just don't have what it takes, post it in the Facebook. Let me give you some encouragement. The other thing that you can do is go to my website, homestylingstudio.com. There are a lot of design inspiration there. Go to my design gallery, check out my staging projects, get some ideas from that. Go to my home styling guide, and that is on my website. Get some tips there. Google some things, just commit to not being stuck and frustrated. Okay, you're going to get stuck and you're going to get frustrated, but committing not to stay there, and know ahead of time what you're going to do based on your personality and what you'll need to get unstuck and unfrustrated. All right, what will be your response if your decisions are criticized? Everybody's not going to love what you do. Everybody in my house, they don't love what I do in my house, but I love it, and so it's okay. But it's like, especially if you have people living in your home, you are going to make design decisions, okay, that maybe will get criticized. Somebody be like, wow, why did you put that there? Why did you hang that there? Why did you change the curtains out? I like the ones that were there. Why did you buy that rug? Whatever it is, that the comments are going to come out. If you have teenagers in your home, comments are going to come out, and it doesn't even mean they don't like it, right? Because they just like to say stuff to keep us on our toes as moms sometimes. And so ahead of time resolved to say, okay, what am I going to say? What am I going to say if somebody comes in my home? Maybe it's a guest, maybe it's a friend. They're like, whoa, what do you got going on in here? What are you going to say? So here's what I'm going to give you the words if you need some words, or make up your own. I am switching things up a bit, and I'm really excited to see the results. Okay, I'm really excited to see what it's going to look like in the end. Okay, just change the tone of the conversation. And this is my women empowerment coaching side of me coming out right now. But you need to come up with a phrase that you're going to say, because it's going to happen. Write it down. Write down your phrase and let it be positive. And then move on. Like, don't sit there. Don't have the discussion. Oh, wait, you don't like it? You don't think it looks good? You don't think it matches? Okay, don't have those discussions with those people that are criticizing your work. If you're really unsure if it's working or matching, or you're not sure, post it in the community. Okay, and we'll give you some feedback. We'll give you some good, honest feedback. But if you're not doubting it, then move on. Move on. All right. And how will you reward yourself? So super important. How are you going to reward yourself? Because you are going to get rewards beyond what I can even explain to you when your project is finished and you sit down and you get to enjoy it every day. Every day I experience that in my living room. I finished my living room. It took me a really long time. It was really hard, but I sit down every day in my living room at least once. And I just sit there and I just look at the stuff, and it just makes me happy, because it's peaceful and it's airy and it's open. And I'll have guests come through the front door, to pick up their kids or whatever it is. They're like, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And it's rewarding. Okay. The end result's going to be rewarding. Know that. Okay. But right now where you sit, you don't understand how rewarding that end result's going to be. Okay. So you need a little bit more motivation than that. So let's reward yourself with something that like a massage, which I love. If you've had a massage before, you know how rewarding that is. Okay. So commit to rewarding yourself with something tangible at the end. And not that you're even going to need that reward at the end, because the reward's going to be reward enough, right? The room reward, but that's going to keep you moving. Okay. In case you just can't understand what I'm talking about here with how big the reward's going to be. So I'm going to take a quick pause, and then I will start back up on a new video with number 3.